you. So people who are watching who don't know, we have actually fought a Zoom storm for about 30 to 45 minutes. So we both are frustrated. So great.
No, I am pretty happy. It gave me time to chill.
So frustration is on me.
Yes. Chill, bro.
Chill, bro. Yeah. So is this like which time frame you're talking about? Is it like 90s or 2000s?
Shut up, dude. I'm not that old.
Oh,
So,
well, hello to the good people over the internet. Today we have with us, but she doesn't need an introduction really. Shalini Mohan herself. She's a bass player based out of Bangalore. And to sum up what she doesn't do, you'll require her voice. So I'll not talk, which I generally do. So welcome. Thank you so much, Shalini ma'am, for joining me. It means a lot.
most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
In terms of having an interesting question, the first thing would be I saw that your journey of becoming a bass player didn't start. You started with the piano. I saw on your website.
Yeah,
as well.
I did. Yeah.
Can you just, I don't know about the audience bhar mein jaye. Can you just tell me about, like, brief me about how did everything started as a musician? Like, you were born into a family of musicians, you're surrounded by music.
Not really. My immediate family and the family I knew, nobody was associated with music. I mean, some of them were tone deaf, like it was scary. But I always had a thing for it. So, and I knew that from a very young age. I think as far as my memories go, right, like as far as I can remember, I understood music in a good way and I loved music. So I would wake up with music, go to sleep with music. So it was always there. In school, I started singing and all that. And I joined the choir and I studied in Protestant Bishop Cotton's. It was an amazing school. And I was the youngest choir member and all that, singing for Jesus and all that. And I mean, I didn't have any idea about instruments because the exposure back then, I mean, I ain't that young, not that old either, but the internet wasn't available when I was in school. So the internet, when did the internet come to India? No idea.
2000s, early 2000s?
Whenever. So when I was like in the 5th grade, like I had no idea what other instruments were and like I had no basic general knowledge, but I only knew what singing was and the choir. And there was a grand piano where my music teacher would play. So I would borrow my friend Mithuna's. I remember she was learning piano. So I borrowed her grade books. I think this was around in the 9th or 10th grade. And I started learning how to read music with her books. And then I would skip class and go and play on the piano. And my teacher, Mrs. Sunalini Ramesh, knew I would bunk class, but she somehow never
How come we
that.
don't get these type of teachers, huh?
You guys have missed out on a lot of things.
Like, I have bunked a lot. My entire school life is bunking. Going to the
Yes.
mall, hiding in the toilet, which is a nasty place to hide, but kya kare?
That is quite different from going to play the piano.
No, exactly.
So no. Yeah.
So your teacher would save you. Like, you play the piano,
In
I'll
a
save
way,
you.
yeah, she did. So after that, I did the usual thing. I was quite a geek also, so I joined a very good engineering college. Did
So you were
absolutely
studious as
nothing.
well. You studied a lot. You were a good student.
Yes. I didn't study a lot. I just was a good, I wasn't a good student at all. I have a very few handful of teachers who liked me. But I had some fabulous teachers and they made all the difference. So yeah, I finished engineering but did nothing much with music there. But when I joined Wipro, which was the first company, I was a techie. I did software. Then I had free access to internet, my friend.
Yeah.
Because by then, yeah. And then there was YouTube and the fact that I could browse and I started learning a lot of stuff. And I joined the Wipro band as a backing vocalist.
Oh.
And I think this is very like weird, like you can't script this. So we had like a corporate show inside the campus as an in-house band. And bass guitarist nahi tha. I mean, he was there until he was not there a couple of days before the show. So Hafiz and Anil, who were the guitar players, they put the bass on me, and I fell in love with it, and it
Oh,
was fabulous.
and from there.
Yes, and then it made more sense. It made more sense.
So is this like which time frame you're talking about? Is it like 90s or 2000s?
Shut up, dude! I'm not that old.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I think this would have been about 2006, 2007.
6, 7. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
or
quite recent.
2005, 2006, something like. Not that recent. It's like yeah, but yeah.
Way a decade
And
before.
then, yeah, so I picked up the bass. I fell in love with it because that sound made so much sense. And then I started listening to a lot of different music. And the musician who actually inspired me to get better at it was Rahman. And he would have his bass player Keith Peters, who would
Keith
play
Peters, yeah.
amazing bass lines on all the songs. So that actually gave me a lot of, let's do this.
Lot of
Yeah.
So was this all happening in Bangalore? You went on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
date.
everything
You
in
went on a
Bangalore.
date with bass that happened in Bangalore.
Yes, 100%. Everything in Bangalore.
So it was love at first sight.
Yes.
And the day you saw it, you planned to marry it.
हाँ जी, of course.
बहुत बढ़िया. So guys, for people who are listening, learn. It is an interesting
What?
thing.
So vague.
But interesting, na? Love at first sight. The
Very.
instrument
हाँ,
is happy
oh,
with
that way. Oh, like that. Okay, okay. Got it.
that. Not Wipro and all.
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ. Like, yeah.
What Cheta, what are you doing? Just pure Bangalore style.
So stereotypical. Cheta, I believe.
um, how's the so right now? Are you in Bangalore or you're like in different city?
Bangalore. Bangalore. I've been here.
So you've been in Bangalore for a long time. How have you seen the music culture grow? And you've also toured as a musician. So how have you seen the culture of music shaping up in different cities? And what's different? What's the difference between Bangalore having its own culture and the different cities which shape a musician's career?
I can't say much about how Bangalore has evolved because I don't know the scene when it was in the 80s and 90s. And even when I was in my college, I wasn't very involved. Like I would see a few bands in my college, but not proactively. But from when I started, hmm, I think the quality of music has become far more diverse and far more better, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad then. I'm just saying it's more diverse. There's a lot more going on than what used to happen, say 2 decades ago.
It's like dynamic now.
So there's so like, yeah, no, and I can't imagine an underground hip hop gig happening in the early 2000s or
Uh,
maybe like that. So Bangalore has a very good scene in terms of like there's Bollywood and film music and there's rock and there's hip hop and there's metal and there's an audience for everything because I think Bangalore has people from everywhere anyway. Like people from every part of the country come to Bangalore to work.
Plus, it's the
So
startup hub
the
of
kind
India.
of yeah, yeah. So the kind of entertainment that develops also depends on the people, na. So
Mhm.
if you are there, the demand is there, the supply comes. So that way the scene
Oh.
has developed very well. There's everything, yeah.
So, like, how is it different from the different cities you have traveled and seen the musicians over there?
I, frankly speaking, my favorite musicians come from Calcutta and Chennai. Like, in my opinion, sorry, where are you from? Oh, you're from Calcutta, no? I'm hoping so. I just
That's
stereotyped
what I
your
look like
name.
this.
No, no, your name, Baba. I couldn't pronounce it. That
Ah,
is significant
yeah, Calcutta
of a
people have
Bengali name.
unpronounceable names. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but the quality of musicians there, mind blowing. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, and like the way they study music, you guys study music also, like, it's really good. Like, Chennai, I think, has the best quality recording session musicians. And
Oh.
yeah, it's damn good.
So, what qualities define Calcutta in terms of music? What do you think?
You're a musician, right?
Yeah.
Calcutta. I think it's the culture. I've been lucky to travel quite a lot everywhere for gigs and stuff. So when I've come to Calcutta, it's so vibrant. I mean, the city is really old, man. I'm sorry. I'm being very, very frank. I
No, no,
love the
no.
city, but it's so old. Like, I'm so scared I'll fall into a pothole outside my door. Like, but the thing I liked about Calcutta, and I think it's why the music is like how awesome it is there. The people are very open. Like what you said now, you spoke in Hindi and the auto driver will charge you double. Like people didn't
Yeah, in
mind
that
that I
terms,
didn't
it's
know the
cheapest.
language. Not like that. I'm saying I
Okay.
didn't know the language, but they were so like they didn't mind.
Ah, ha, 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 ha.
Huh? And I feel it's so matriarchal. Like women are like so there. Like, don't
What
you think so?
there?
Like they're so gutsy.
It's
So
fine.
I feel in a very good way, man. I'm a huge fan. Like, so I think that relates to the music, you know? And so you have people like Mohini Dey and every class of music over there. It's really cool. So and Chennai also it's like Carnatic, the hub Carnatic is
Carnatic
like
hub,
the
yeah.
foundation. So it's a totally different vibe of music there. So the studying of musicians there also is on a different level because so much importance is given to tradition, right? So
Plus, if you visit Calcutta very soon,
you
right now, what's happening? There's an outburst of gigs, underground gigs, metal bands, rock, hip hop, everything is happening right now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which existed, but in not this scale that's happening right now, right?
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
have
But
jazz,
generally, I wouldn't associate. Yeah, yeah. Jazz is a great thing in Calcutta, man.
we have jazz evenings in cafes and stuff, to underground death metal concerts where you will just headbang and bleed your way out. So yeah, diversity.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
In terms of
So you're, yeah.
yeah, please.
No, no, continue, continue.
Okay. So, in terms of you taking, like, did you think at the very first, while you played your first gig and you met bass, your bass, that I want to be a musician for a career. I want to make it as a musician. Like, did you think, how was the process? You just sat down and wrote in a paper,
Yeah, yeah.
this
I
is what I have
always
to do.
knew.
Like, you sat down and wrote in a paper, these are all
No,
the things
no,
I need to do. How was the
no,
process?
no. I don't think anybody does that.
Oh, okay.
So I always knew that I would do this professionally, although I was in IT for almost 10 years. But the thing is, while I was working, I was also doing gigs.
Oh,
So
wow.
I became a professional musician while I was working. So by the time, I think in 2012 or so, the 2000, yeah, so something around that time, I figured I could take a chance because I had been in the scene for a while. And then, yeah, it's been working. Touch wood. Yeah, but there was no plan. I don't know how to explain it. It was always in the back of my head that this is what I would do. And then yeah, when I started working, I said I would say okay, in about 3 years I would quit full time, but it never used to happen because having a salary and it gets
Yeah,
comfortable and
exactly.
yeah. But yeah, I think I figured I had to take a chance, man. Like it had been quite a while. Also, the commute from my house to the office would take about 4 hours every day. It was a
Oh,
great motivation for me to jump, like in
4 hours,
Bangalore.
like going back and coming forth
Yes,
every day for 4 hours.
Hanji. Yeah, so that way, and in about I think 2010 or 2011, my cousin, who was also an aspiring musician, he was much younger than I mean, not much younger. He had just finished his engineering, and he was about to start working, and he also wanted to be a musician. He passed away, so basically that kind of pushed me to take a chance.
Ah,
Yeah,
so a
and
lot
for
of
all you know,
ignition points.
of course.
Hmm. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
and I hated coding, man. Oh God. And then
You were drowned
when
in code.
no, no, yeah, yeah. And see, the thing is, when you like whatever you do, you try and do it well. Okay, so when you do things well, you tend to get promoted a little bit. So initially, I was coding, and I was like, fuck this, I'll just do this. But then you start getting more responsibilities, and you keep going up. And like, no, no, there's only till a certain point that you can fake it. So after that, I was like, yeah, let's
Then
take
you
a
have to make
chance.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's take a chance. And I figured ki if I had to get a job again and the music thing didn't work out, I would drive an Uber. But I will never go back to the corporate world. Oh no, no. I'm very grateful because it really helped me financially, but no, no, yeah.
So inspiring in a way. Take us to the practice routine. Like, you have bought a bass. You did like buy a bass when you did your first corporate show, or after that
No, no,
when
no.
you fell in
No,
love
no.
and then you bought.
No, no. Wipro had this huge Gibson, the fake Gibson.
Oh, the Gibson,
That
huh?
bass,
VV.
yeah, yeah, that bass was a tree and it weighed twice as much as I did. And I used that
Oh,
bass for about 2, 3 years until I quit that company and went to the next place. And then I had to buy a
you took the
bass.
bass while quitting? No,
No, no, cheap. I'm not that cheap and all.
no, no, I thought they
And it
gave
would,
you probably.
nah, nah, it would have been very obvious also. It's not an easy thing to do.
And then you went out and bought a bass.
Haji. Yeah, my first bass was a Yamaha RPX. It's one of the most beautiful basses I've played on.
So that
And
was
it's
a
got Victor
four
Wood
string or like five.
4.
Mm,
And it has Victor Wooten's signature on it.
the Lord himself.
Haji. Yes.
Um, how much did you practice? Did you like take us through the schedule of you sitting down, concentrating on your hand synchronization, this and that, tone, dynamic stuff?
Hey, what? How much you want in one answer? Like, I take classes based on this. I'm not going to talk about hair bands and all that. What the hell? I'm
I mean, take us through the practice. Take us through the practice schedule.
No, I would love to say that I sat down and practiced every day for 6 hours, but no,
Holy
because I
shit!
had to. No, no, I didn't.
Oh, sorry, no.
Even now, I don't. Yeah, because I had to work, and then even after I quit, like even when I had the time, it's not easy to get that kind of thing where you sit down and practice. I know John Mayung from Dream Theater
John
did
Mayer, yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah, but I'm more the Victor Wooten believer. And he said that, was it Wooten or someone else? I'm not sure, okay? And he said that you can't become a complete musician if you sit in your house and practice for 6 to 8 hours a day because you also have to
Yeah,
go out and live life because what else would you write music about, right? So it
exactly.
can't be a mechanical thing. So yeah, I would
Hmm.
practice whenever I could. Like there are days where I practice all the time, and there are days where I don't even touch the bass. So it's very, yeah, it's spontaneous.
So,
But when I do
look,
sit down and practice, I have a schedule.
hmm.
So
So these are all the
that
things I need
discipline
to
is very
develop
important.
and this and that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow. Because I think a
yeah.
lot of musicians outside also, and even I face this sometimes that, okay, I have to, if I'm not practicing or I don't feel like it's coming or I don't like, it's like, nahi ho raha hai do din se, the thing I knew is not fucking working out. My hands are not moving as they used to. Like this, like, what do you think? All these phases are normal for all the musicians who is listening to this. These are normal things that happen all the time. It's not gonna be like you have to have a great day
Yeah,
all
yeah,
day,
of
every day.
course. Of course.
So when I had this that okay 3 दिन से मैंने practice नहीं किया I didn't
Of
even sit
course.
down and run some scales and this and that I'm like okay am I missing something on am I like deteriorating in terms of developing my hands and stuff. So what are your thoughts on this? It's okay to take breaks and
Of
then come after
course.
a certain while.
Yeah, 100%. And I
Hmm.
think as you keep practicing and as you become more experienced, you figure out what works for you. And you know when to cut yourself some slack, just chill out and not give yourself a hard time because you couldn't play what you could play yesterday.
Hmm.
And give it a break and then get back on. But I think it takes a while.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This is a
So,
very
but
natural human phase that
yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, like there are days where I don't touch the bass, but there are a lot of like it's very,
Hmm.
I don't know
Yes,
how
we are
there's
like
no
asked
shed.
though.
Yeah, but I would say practice every day if you can,
Hmm,
because
hmm,
that's the
hmm.
ideal thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. But
So
mood
what are
nahi hai
your
to you can't.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Are you a believer
Huh.
of, or are you a practitioner of perfection or speed? Do you want things to happen fast or
Perfection
perfect
or?
speed?
Yeah, it's required sometimes. A mix of everything.
Mix of everything.
Like, yeah, you see, you have to talk with your music at the end of the day. So whether you're angry or you're sad or you're feeling happy or you're feeling horny or whatever it is, there are different ways to communicate it, right? So it's not
Yeah.
about aiming to be something. So you have, yeah, initially when we're going, even now, I know there are certain compartments where I have to work out. Like I need to work on my speed a little bit and other stuff. But so work on those things, but everything matters. Like just because I know all the 26 alphabets, I don't use it all the time, right?
Ah,
So
so
yeah,
to creative, like learn to use sentences and phrases and verbs,
yeah.
ecstasy and all of those shitty stuff.
That I don't know, but yeah.
Um, in terms of what was your first paying gig you had, and what was your reaction to that? How did you get it?
What is this? Like, how was your first salary? Did you go and give it to your mother? And did
No,
she
no,
give it
no,
back to you?
no.
What the fuck?
How did you how did you get it first gig? Like, what was the reaction of you? Like, okay, this is working out. When you like finally took the call of going taking the music seriously?
I trust me, you can't say I got paid this much for my first gig and that motivated you to take it as a career.
No,
Nobody
no.
is that lucky.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in India.
Yeah. No, anywhere. I don't think anyone earns a great pay on their first gig.
Yeah, that's for
Like
sure. Yeah.
it's unless you're born to some really famous musician who and it just comes to you. But no, I don't think so.
Uh,
So first pay and all, I don't remember, man. Like I don't remember whether I got paid for that Wipro gig or not. No, I don't think so. I don't remember, dude. Sorry.
Interesting. So if you take into consideration 2023, how many years have you been playing? 20 years?
No, Ray. 2006. Do the math na.
Uh,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
bad at
about
maths.
16, 17 years. 16, 17 years.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
close.
Ha, close.
Okay, so chocolate is on me. In terms of getting uh, available to and connecting with all the musicians, how important do you think on a scale of 1 to 10 is important for all musicians to connect with other musicians, play with them, jam with them, improvise with them, whatever the hell it is?
25. How else will you become a better musician? How else? You can't go to a banker and say, come, let's do something together and become a better musician. It has to be a collaboration with other musicians, na.
There was
घर
time.
में बैठ के what will
I'll
you do
try
on
this.
your own? Like,
I'll try this. I'll go to the nearest bank tomorrow. चलो
हाँ.
ब्रांच मैनेजर को लेके आएंगे चलो बजाते हैं चलो.
If you have to get gigs or work, you have to do it with other musicians only, na. So the importance is 10, Baba, or 25, or like however big. It is extremely important. And you need to see someone better than you and play with someone better than you to keep yourself motivated.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. This is someone better than you. But often, what do you
Always.
think? As an artist, it turns into some jealousy that, okay, how the hell is he playing better than me or something like that sort.
It shouldn't. But if you feel that way, then you're a
We need to
very
work upon
sad
ourselves.
person. Yeah, as a person.
Serious advice.
Yeah, like sort your shit out a bit.
Exactly.
Like
problem is not-
the initial jealousy is okay, but you must be evolved enough to process the jealousy, and then you're like, fuck, he or she is so good, man. Like,
Let's learn.
I want to
and
be
work.
like that. Yeah.
What genres or what kind of music did you listen to? And like now it has evolved for sure, funk to jazz to everything you listen to. But what was the initial musical influences, the bands you heard or the artists you admired?
My dad had these CBS volumes. So we had things called cassettes, okay, back
Cassettes.
then, like in the 90s and all that. So so some of these albums came up with these assorted songs. So when he was younger, he had music like the Beatles and all that.
Wow.
Beatles and Michael Jackson for sure, and things like that. So these things made me listen to a lot of music. And then, of course, there was always film music playing in my house. So everything. It was a jumble. And in school, I would learn Western music. So it was a
Western
big,
music.
yeah. So there was
A
everything.
plethora of
It's
things
quite,
happening.
yes.
Hmm. Also went to a music university in London. How was the experience over there?
No, I did my exams here from that university.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So
How was the
it's not
experience
like, so
doing
the
that?
London
Hmm.
College of Music. It was good, man. Like I got a diploma and all that for my vocals of all the things.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it was a great learning experience. So I think, yeah, it's important that if you want to become a professional musician, you have to back it up with some kind of education. And it's
Hmm.
not like getting a certificate and all that. It's like you need to know some things to actually
Yeah.
be able to take it professionally, because it's not
Know
just
your
about being in a
craft properly.
band.
Yeah.
Hanji, yes,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
yes. And in any situation, if you need to communicate it to other people, you must be.
Probably the last couple of few questions.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, guys, understand things. In terms of what are your thoughts on the music industry from every aspect? The independent scene, the Bollywood music, the film music, session musicians, independent music. What are your thoughts on this?
Are you asking in terms of, like, what's your question?
In terms of opportunities, in terms of what's happening, what's yet to come, like what are your, how are you seeing the
So if
projection in
you're
like
saying if you
five
want to
years?
be a
Yeah,
professional
exactly.
musician, is it? So, in my opinion, I don't think. See, if you need to be able to support yourself with music only, I think you need to put your hand into a lot of things. So it just can't be one scene. So it
Yeah.
just, for example, it can't be only the independent scene, where there are very very few lucky people who do it well. I think bands like Thaikudam Bridge and Parvaz and so on. But even then, a lot of those musicians in these bands also do session work outside of their bands.
Yeah.
You know, no matter, like, there are the most successful bands where the musicians do a lot of Bollywood and industry work as well. For example, if you take Blackstrat Blues and you spoke to Warren, right?
Yeah.
He shares stage with so many Bollywood singers, and there are fabulous gigs that he does. So, you know,
Yeah.
an example like that. So you should be, and I think you also be need to be a recording musician to some extent. So you need to be able to do everything, recordings and your live shows and
Have
so on.
different revenue sources.
Yeah, yeah, and just be as versatile as possible to be able to do whatever is good.
Because ultimately we need to pay our electricity bills. So yeah.
No, and also be a good musician, no? Like,
Yeah.
it's versatility. And the best part for me about being a session musician is I get to work with people who think so differently. So the music is also so different. So so I've had to learn to be flexible to a lot of different styles and adapt. And you know, if it's not my comfort zone, have the thing to lay low and figure it out and then do it and stuff like that. So yeah, I think you need to do a lot of everything. It's not wise to say rely on only one band. You know, it's not like how rock on is, where you become a band and
Just
suddenly
make
your
it big.
single, your album just does really well and all that. It's very utopian.
Hmm.
It rarely works.
Yeah. So in order to have all of those streams of money flowing in, or you being able to do and contribute to all of those streams, you have to be a good musician yourself at the very first. Otherwise, we just can't, right?
Obviously,
Hmm.
no, no. I don't think people will hire you because you look nice.
Yeah.
I think you
Hmm.
have to be able to do it. You can't
Your
fake it,
fingers
right? So
should
you
move.
have
Yeah.
to figure it out. No, you can't fake it. You have to be a
Exactly.
good
Hmm.
at
You have to
what
be
you do.
original, real. Exactly. How do musicians deal with criticisms, or how do you sort them out?
I can't speak for everybody, right? I have to only speak for myself. I can't tell you how Warren deals with criticism. It's not a general thing. Everyone is different.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like
So,
asking how do people in Calcutta deal with criticism?
subjective question. You're also the front man and the bass player and the vocalist. I don't know what else
Yes.
you know, of Ginny and the Bottle Cup. So, How did that happen?
So this I started about 4 5 years back, and it started as a two-piece where me and another guitarist called Anish, and we did got together and had these small shows and so on. And I had just about gotten back to singing, so I was, I didn't want to do anything more than that. And then it slowly developed. Anish had to step back, and a lot of other. Then I had a drummer, then a saxophonist, and a guitarist, of course, and it took really good shape. And over the last couple of years, what we realized is we do very well in the corporate scene. So we have been able to do a lot of shows in lots of different languages and so on. So yeah, it it's still taking shape, but I think it's doing quite okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
The last question of the podcast. How happy you became.
No, man, it's just how you said it. And the best part is in the beginning of the podcast, like, you guys know me, I talk a lot. I've been blabbering, and you've just been like asking like these 10-word questions, and I'm talking and talking, and you're just like listening and just chilling out, and I'm like, no.
No. Oh God. Three advices to all musicians out there, which they can implement real soon.
Huh? Get a great haircut. Finish your education really well.
Like which education are you talking about? The music education or the normal?
Nay, anything. Like whatever you're studying. Just have a degree in your hand. It goes. It really works. And learn how to cook.
Yeah, you have to. Also, number 4 from my side, be a good musician. So yeah.
That's a given, Baba. I'm not going to tell anybody be a bad musician.
ये तो है.
It applies to anything in life. Like even if you want to be like, I don't know, like what do you, I mean, I don't know, you're a musician. Anything. Be a good at whatever you do. Yeah.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we end our podcast. Thank you so much. Okay. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in. Given
No
that
problem.
we have had some troubles, so yeah,
Oh, no worries, no worries.
absolutely okay. So for the musicians, people who are listening to this, I'm saying I'll put the links of all that this ma'am has ever done in the description. Please check them out. No words to describe how she plays or whatever it's just beyond what we can imagine. So I'll just put everything down in the description. Please do support, check them out. And once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. It means a lot.
Most welcome.